Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
Hello, this is Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International, bringing you matters of faith with Graphic Online. I was one time watching a ceremony, and the speaker made a statement that was very profound. Unfortunately, I can't name, but it was a lady speaker, somewhere in Canada. That lady was the CEO of a very big company. And she was giving that graduation speech in Canada. And there are some things he said that was very poignant for me, very powerful. And see, I'm not afraid to give the credit to that person. But there's something that the person said. He named 3 C's. And those 3 C's were conviction, confidence, and courage. In fact, my son was graduating at that ceremony. And I was listening. I couldn't be there, so I was watching on, what do you call it, Zoom? Yeah. Sometimes when they say Zoom, as if you're flying. But guess what? The woman made a statement and said, confidence, courage, and conviction. Boom, it hit. It just lit me up. Then I remember David. And I began to see these 3 things in David. Number 1, I will start with conviction. David comes to town and he's convinced. He has a conviction that it is wrong for Goliath to do this to Israel. And the conviction is so strong that and others try to dissuade him from that conviction. Others try to tell him that you can't do this. From his brothers to the king. He said, you can't fight this guy. In fact, the king made it boldly that you are not qualified. This man has trained for warfare ever since his childhood. This man is a warrior. He's a born warrior. You are not a warrior. You are just a shepherd boy. But you know, all David's activity, all this, it starts with a conviction. And that conviction lies on God. That conviction lies on the knowledge of God that he has. That conviction also lies on the fact that the God he knows, he has that faith in God. That God has done it before. David is convinced that he's standing upon a word. He's standing upon God's word that it is wrong for this to happen. He was convinced beyond every shadow of doubt. Listen, people are going to come and assault your conviction. People are going to come and challenge your conviction. I've had many times people coming to me and say, how can you do this? It's impossible. I just look at them and I say, you don't know. Unless I have not heard from God. My doubts may stem from the fact that I didn't hear right. But once I've heard right, you're not going to move me. Because I am convinced beyond every shadow of doubt. He's a keeper of his word. And if God gives you a word, rest your conviction upon it. Let it be your conviction. Run with it. The vision may tarry, and it may be for an opponent and it may tarry. I'll wait for it. Because at the end it will speak and not lie. Conviction is based not on frivolities, but conviction is based on the sure word of God. It's based on the sure word of God. See, I have a conviction that yea though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. It is a choice I have made. It's a conviction I have. So I have seen storms, and I might see storms, but hey, he remains God. He remains seated on the throne. He has not vacated the throne. Neither has there been a coup d'etat. He is not seated on the throne. And if he gave you a word, he gave you that word. He said heaven and earth will pass away, and not an iota of his word will ever fall to the ground. I am convinced beyond every shadow of doubt that neither height nor depth nor principalities can separate me from the love of God. It's a conviction. It's a burning flame. It's a burning passion. You can't keep it out. You can't blot it out. It's there. I may verbalize it, I may not verbalize it, but it's there. That's what you need to do. You need to have conviction. And your conviction must be strong enough to carry you through. And then number 2, the second C, you must have confidence. Goodness me. Did you see the confidence of David? Wow. I mean, the confidence of David is so amazing that Goliath comes, and Goliath calls the people of Israel, and he tells them that, listen, you servants of Saul, am I not a Philistine? He calls himself by his nationality. He addresses Israel. He defines Israel by their servitude to Saul. Denigrates the pedigree of Israel. Denigrates the dignity. Denigrates them and makes them like nobodies. But see, the confidence that David comes and walks into town, that confidence shatters the confidence of Goliath. He began by saying, am I not a Philistine? But the time David started approaching, he said, am I a dog? The confidence with which David, and the confidence with which he stood beside his brothers and told them, there's not a cause, I have a reason. I'm convinced. It's the same confidence he said to the King Saul, I'm confident God will give me the victory. I'll go fight this guy. I mean, the confidence of David is staggering. And the confidence that Saul even looked at him and said, hey, you know what? Yeah. Saul, the king, began by saying, you can't fight this guy. But then he says, you know what? I think you have a chance. So let me put some armor on you. I'm going to help you. And they say, I don't need it. My goodness. You're going to fight somebody who is armed to the teeth. And then you throw away every armor that you're given and take a stone and a sling and a staff and a stick. Are you out of your mind? Confidence. And then the next thing is his courage. See, the courage of David is so powerful that the Bible says he ran towards Goliath. Oh, goodness me. He ran. This guy he's a killer he's an assassin, he's a killer, he's a warrior by birth. He runs to him. You see, the courage to face situations and say to things say to adversity, I'm not moved by you. The courage to stand up and say to, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for God is with me. That's the courage. So you know something? Your conviction, your confidence, and your courage. Oh, that's what I learned. Choice to learn is also yours. See you later.